Tell you guys the power behind manifestation, y'all. Like anything that you believe in, anything that you set your intentions in, can definitely happen for you, no matter what it is that you're wanting. Whether it's a house that you want, a car that you want, whether it's children, whether it's a husband, whether it's to enroll and get into a certain college, whether it's to take trips, whether it's to save 100K, like no matter what it is, it's possible to get if you manifest properly. Now, I'm not one of those manifestation teachers that will tell you, this way works and that way doesn't. I feel like, honestly, you have to figure out what works for you when it comes to manifesting. It has to have your signature at the end of it. It has to be literally you, because when we're manifesting, we're putting ourselves into our manifestations, if that makes. Oh my God, I thought the goddamn timer was going. 111 on the timer confirmation. 111 on the timer confirmation. The thing with manifestation is there's a certain signature or a certain, there's something that only you can give. There's a recipe that only you have when it comes to your manifestations. So I won't say that this way works and this way doesn't, but what I will say to you guys is that you have to really figure out what works for you and intentionally figure out what works for you. So usually when we come to a certain part of our spiritual journey, we get to a space to where we are coming out of hibernation, and in that hermit mode, we've thought about a lot. We've probably studied a lot. We've got a lot of downloads. Like a lot of things we were enlightened, right? So you get out of that and you want to start intentionally manifesting. You have to test different theories. You have to see what works, what doesn't work, what works best for you, what works a little bit, what works quick. And you can put a time in on your manifestations. And I will say in certain circumstances, you should put a time in on your manifestations, but really you have to kind of allow it to just happen, because when you are putting so much energy into waiting on it to happen, you're kind of blocking it from happening, because we're constantly manifesting through our thoughts, with our thoughts. And a lot of people don't realize that you literally manifest every little outcome, big or small, in your life with your thoughts and with the decisions that you make. But our brain is wired 258 on the timer too. Some of you guys are trying to manifest baby girls, but that's only for like a small collective. 304 could be baby boys too. Some of you guys need to be very careful if you are pregnant, and not to fear anybody. Make anybody fear or be scared, but just be very on your health. But that's for a very small part of the collective. Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. You just basically want to put your all into your manifestations, because you are your manifestation, and anything and everything that you're trying to get or grasp, it already exists and it already is yours, and some of the shit already has happened. You just haven't caught up to that timeline. So what I really want you guys to understand is you need to see what works for you, okay? Don't become frustrated, and you will become frustrated, but when you feel those feelings of frustration, that is probably when you should stop and wait until you're feeling better to do whatever it is that you do to manifest. So I know for me, I learned my strongest suit in manifesting is when I journal, when I write. Writing down what it is that I want, writing petitions, writing to my ancestors, writing to my spirit guides, writing to my higher self. Just writing for me is one of my strongest suits when it comes to manifesting. Now, what I will say is sometimes those manifestations don't happen to months later, even years later, but I've noticed, but they do happen. So that may be one of my strongest suits, but it kind of comes slow. I've noticed when I just automatically believe that it's going to happen, that's when it happens. But as an air sign and a cardinal sign, my thoughts can be scattered and they can be everywhere sometimes. So I have to practice controlling my thoughts and not allowing negative thoughts to creep in and pretty much mess up what it is that I need to manifest, that positive high vibrational energy that I need to manifest. Sometime when we're in our dark feminine energy, you can manifest very quick out of anger. Okay, you can speak some shit out of anger or say some things to somebody out of anger, and you see it happen, because literally there's power in the tongue. But that can work for good or bad, you know. But journaling was one. I noticed when I manifest like with water, candle magic works for me too. But I notice when I'm in the shower and I'm showering, I get into this meditative state and I'm praying and I'm talking, and the things that I ask for, I notice that I get. You just really have to figure out what works for you, you guys. But if you made it this far in the video, then this video is for you. I'm in a place right now in my life to where, well, honestly, right, I have very moments where I'm very sad. I think that I will forever have moments and like real bolts of sadness, because there's so much that I have lost that I wasn't ready to let go of. People, places, and things, but more so people. So I get into this funk every now and then. I'm just sad. But at the end of the day, I'm in a very happy place in my life right now. A lot of the things that I wanted, I'm seeing, or I've already gotten. I am peaceful. I have peace. And to me, that's the ultimate goal. That's the end goal, is to have peace, okay? Peace is very expensive, okay? It's priceless, but it's expensive at the same time. And it's just amazing how the things that I wrote down in my journals 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I am literally living them out. Now, of course, there's things that I want that I'm still consciously working on, that I'm still intentionally trying to manifest and bring into reality. But most of the things that I asked for, I really got. 222 on the clock. It's 2:22 a.m. So yeah, confirmation again. I really believe in vision boards and the power of vision boards. I don't know. Anytime I make a vision board, I notice that damn near everything that I put on that board comes to fruition. And again, that goes hand in hand with writing. When you're doing a vision board, I know personally for me, I write certain things that I want to put on my vision board. I also order books, copy, and like cut out and paste things on my vision board. But a lot of the time I'm writing out things. But either way it go, even if you're cutting out of a book, even if you're cutting out of a book and you're gluing or whatever on things onto your vision board, is still words. So it's something with the power of words that really strongly connects with the universe. Spoken or unspoken, but I know if you are an air sign, it's very good to speak. And again, everybody manifests differently, but I just don't want you guys to doubt yourself. Know that it can happen. You know, and I always say, like, start with self. Manifest things for yourself. If you are gifted in more than one way, then you can manifest for other people. But sometimes it's harder to manifest for other people, because if that person doesn't believe it, then what are you doing? You can't really manifest for them. So start with yourself, and then you'll watch everything else around you change. I did a lot of things that I couldn't even break down to y'all in this video years ago that, you know, helped me get things that I wanted. I worked with nature. I worked with trees. I worked with grounding. I would walk and talk to use my throat chakra. There's just so much. But never stop believing in yourself, and never think that anything is too don't think that anything is unattainable. It's all attainable. It's all attainable. But a lot of the time you're too distracted to lock in on it. So find time. If you don't take anything from this video, find time this week, this month in October, because October is tomorrow, to lock in and intentionally manifest the things that you want. And I'm a big believer that the universe gives when you sacrifice. So there may be things that you need to let go. Shout out to all the Libras too. And there's things that you may have to let go. You know, when I wrote a petition, it was things that I told Spirit that I would stop doing: drinking, smoking, cursing all day long, like, you know. And it took me a minute to stop doing those things, but when I stopped doing those things, they rewarded me. I was rewarded. So yeah, lock in. I love you guys. I hope this message reached those that need it most, and I'll be back when I'm back.